Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome, my wonderful friends. My name is Yaqub Zaman, and this is a live stream Q&A. And it's Saturday today, so you guys know what that means. It means we're going to be answering questions, inshallah. Let me just go on my Instagram. All right, so let's put this back. Okay, that's better. All right, so people of Instagram, you guys can see as well. Ahlan wa sahlan, welcome everyone. Hope everyone is enjoying their Saturday. Nice, beautiful weather today. Wa alaikum assalam, Khan, ahlan wa sahlan. Uwaiza, Wa'idha, Al-Wa'id Al-Saghir, ahlan wa sahlan. Wa alaikum assalam, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, ahlan wa sahlan. Salima, wa alaikum assalam. Quick Quran recitation, wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan. Khan, can you please tell me about the Brotherhood in Medina the Prophet ﷺ set up? Did the Prophet ﷺ join with anyone? Yes. So he joined with Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. So he didn't need to technically join with anyone because his mother's side had connections in Medina anyway. Did the women get joined? If not, why not? Yeah, so they were generally with their families. So they would most likely get joined. We don't have too much details about exactly who was joined with who. If I missed Fajr Namaz, Alaikum Assalam, Yasin, Ahla wa Sahlan. Do you do qada of the two sunnahs? Yes. Can you read the two farz of farz qada in congregation? Yes. Can minor sins become major sins if you carry on doing them frequently? Sufyan, wa alaikum assalam, my brother Sufyan. Yes. Missed you, bro. My brother Sufyan and Jav. Hope you're well. Hope everything's good. Up in Derby. Enjoying yourselves. Next mission, Sufyan, is coming down to Birmingham. That's the next mission. If I'm spending a couple of days with the group and they are praying with their Fajr Jamaat at the earlier time, then should I pray with them or should I pray within the time I normally adhere to? So what I would say is, in that situation, if they're all praying in the earlier time, then you should pray in the early time. Yeah, because it's better to have a congregation. Is delaying prayer unnecessarily haram or masbuh? You mean makruh? Yeah, so if you're delaying it unnecessarily, there is karahat in there. If I see a pretty Muslim woman in public, how should I approach to ask for marriage? Up to you, bro. Up to you. You can either speak to her, you can maybe ask for her parents' contact details, or ask someone else to speak to her. Ibn Adam, wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan. Also, what if the group are joining Zuhr and Asr, similarly Maghrib and Isha, should I join? So in that kind of situation, if you know you are going to stop for Asr, or stop for Maghrib, Isha, then pray in the separate times. If you know you're not going to stop, it's going to become difficult for everyone else, then pray with them. Right, so let's check out some Curious Cat questions then. Curious Cat is saying, right, so quite a few questions have collected. Okay, do I need to redo an optional fast if whilst fasting I think I felt a little silver of bitten off lip skin, you mean, on my tongue, but I'm not sure if I swallowed it? No need to repeat. No need to redo. Next, can a woman have a haircut with fringe and layers in her hair? There is ikhtilaf in this matter between the scholars. I would say if a woman is going to do it for her husband, then there would B, permissibility. Please don't ignore. What can children do if their parents keep arguing over stuff that does not relate to children and personal things with children? I don't understand the question. Serious question, not joke. Is it permissible for a teenager to sleep in the same bedroom as their parents? Number one, yes. What about the possibility of hearing private things, i.e. sexual relations? 2, is this Islamically allowed? Number 2, yes. Is what should older children do if they can hear things that they find? Try to sleep in a separate room. Try to sleep in a separate room. I have psoriasis on my knees. When I pray prolonged prayers, my knees really hurt and bleed. I also have a lot of qada prayers to make up. Can I pray sitting on a chair for the qada prayers, as I really want to make them up? In that situation, yes. Okay, let's check some questions here then. Ferub Zamani, I can't seem to read that name. السلام عليكم، أنا من كردستان، اسمي هلوستد، لماذا لا أجد أي شرح لديوان إمام شافعي العربية؟ لا أدري. I'm more of an introvert. What is the minimum for cultivating kinship ties, Silat al-Rahim? Do you have any advice on this? What is the minimum? So the minimum is basically just give them salam. That's what it would be. Just give them salam. If you feel too shy of speaking to them, just give salam now and again. That would be enough. I follow you since several years now and have a lot of great content. Alhamdulillah, Mubarak, Jazakallah khair. My favorite ever was Quran Words in Depth. Do you plan on making any more? A lot of people have asked me, So inshallah, I do have plans for it, yeah. At the moment, it's just trying to come out with a way of trying to make the videos easier. Because at the moment, the way that I was making them before, it was taking me 8 to 10 hours to make one video. 8 to 10 hours. So inshallah, I should be able to make dua, inshallah, brother. Assalamu alaikum, ahla wa sahlan, my brother Muhammad, ahla wa sahlan, welcome. Okay, next question, Curious Cat. Salams, how does someone pray salah on an airplane if there is no space to stand? Salam, they can pray sitting. Salam, I'm thinking of applying for a new job. I am a healthcare professional and the new job is focused around pregnancy healthcare. Part of the role includes giving advice around contraception and abortion. Requirement of the job is to be pro-choice. Would this be considered a halal job? Yes. Halal job. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. How should a student of knowledge spend his long-term holiday? Most likely loses motivation at the time. So, salam. Number 1, stay in regular contact with a teacher or 2. Number 2, try to get your teacher to give you a project in the summer. Number 3 is visit bookstores. And number 4 is network with other keen students. Yeah, so these are techniques, I would say, which are very beneficial. I benefit from a lot. 8 to 10 hours. Why so long? Well, the reason is because, first of all, I have to collect all the information that I need, read all the texts. Then number two, and that sometimes takes time, because sometimes there might be a sentence in there or two that's not very clear. So I have to look through dictionaries, I have to look through certain things to kind of clarify. Then I have to find the material. So the pictures that I find and images, I have to find all those. Then I have to record it. Yeah, and then then I have to put it all together, how I'm gonna script it, and then I have to record it. So that roughly sometimes can take 8. So because some of my videos were like 1 hour long, 50 minutes long. So that's 1 hour gone anyway in recording. And then even in that recording, it doesn't take 1 hour. It's actually more than an hour, because I'd have to pause it. I'd have to look at some material, then I have to restart it again, like that. So sometimes a recording can take between sometimes an hour, hour and a half. Then after that, post editing. So then editing the video, and then editing the sound, all these things. Yeah, so these are all the things which are. Sufyan, if a parent gives their daughter a significant amount of money as a gift due to being closer to them, but doesn't give to the other son, are the parents sinful? Not necessarily. If it's going to hurt the other children, then possibly, yeah. But if it's not going to hurt, then it's possibly permissible. There's a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ prohibited a parent unfairly distributing gifts to the children. So many of the madhabs are on the opinion that it's not permissible. The Hanafis say that if it's something which is okay, the siblings are okay with it, because maybe one sibling does more for the parent and the other, or it's just a normal kind of practice. Otherwise, if it's something that's going to hurt the other children, then they shouldn't do it. In reference to Bukhari hadith, yeah, that's the hadith. So the hadith that's taken is that the Prophet ﷺ, he prohibited singling out a child in giving gifts. And there could be some families where this kind of like becomes a means of hatred between the siblings. Like the siblings begin to hate each other for that. So parents need to be aware of this. And sometimes siblings don't mind. Like, for example, let's say there's siblings that moved out their houses. There's one sibling that's still living in the house, and they don't really mind. I mean, the others don't mind, so they buy him gifts and things. لماذا لا أجد يشرحون ديوان إمام شافعي وإمام علي بالعربية على يوتيوب؟ لا أدري يا أخي، أنا قلت لا أدري. لا أدري، لا بد أن تسأل هؤلاء. أنا لا أدري، عفوا. Does sinning deliberately instead of slipping into sin have a lower likelihood of being forgiven? All sins can be forgiven. All sins, if you're sincere about it. If we are praying witr and fajr comes in during it, do we carry on finish? Is it the same for sunnah and nawafil? So the witr is a bit different. The witr is you finish off. Yeah, you finish off. And the reason for that is because of narrations where it's mentioned that when fajr was close, the Prophet ﷺ would finish off his witr. I'd like to see the bloopers. Yeah, I know. I remember once I collected some bloopers. Then I don't know where I put them. Actually, I think it got deleted. Because I have to collect I've literally got about 3 or 4 external hard drives just filled with material. So a lot of the videos I put up, I put them into there as backup. So I actually need to buy another one now as well. Yeah, so I had some bloopers, hours of footage. Wa alaikum assalam, purple plants. Can you hang images in your home of people without faces? Yes. Was the thing regarding Nu'man bin Bashir? I don't know what you're referring to. والله أنا أحبك في الله، بارك الله فيك، أهلا وسهلا أخي، وبارك فيك أيضا، وأحبك الذي أحببتني فيه. What's more, according to Sunnah, naming the baby the first day he or she was born or 7th day? So the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned about naming it by the 7th day. So by the 7th day, having a name for it. Sorry if you missed it. No problem, my brother. No problem. ما في مشكلة. جزاك الله خير. Cam, أهلا وسهلا, my brother Cam. What's happening, bro? Long time no see. Hope you're well. It's refreshing to see all these students of knowledge honestly increasing and evolving rather than seeing our young community dealing drugs. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. That's what you get when you come to Roots of Knowledge. You get people of knowledge, my brother. Yeah, students of knowledge, alhamdulillah. Yeah, unfortunately, youngsters nowadays, you know what? It's just crazy. Early on, I was just driving my car, and behind is a crazy youngster just trying to get through all the. Like, where are you going? You're gonna get to your destination 1 minute earlier. Yeah, 1 minute earlier, or let's say 1.5 minutes earlier. Which modern scholars would you recommend more to take knowledge from? Who are the most trustworthy in your opinion? I don't know. I mean, see, a lot of the scholars who are on social media, I don't know them personally, so I wouldn't be able to vouch for them. The ones that I can vouch for is like people like Sheikh Salman Yunus, Sheikh Suhail Hanif, Sheikh Faraz Rabbani, Mufti Abdurrahman Mangira, Mufti Muhammad ibn Adam, Mufti Faraz Adam. These are some of the ones that I can vouch for. What's the view on parents favoring a son over the daughters and it's obvious to this? Then this is wrong. This is unfair and the parents will be questioned about it. Naheed wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Are nasheeds akbar permissible if they make you feel a similar way to how music feels? You know, I don't know this whole thing about a cappella because nowadays it's like almost indistinguishable from musical instruments. So I don't know. I mean, is that musical sound prohibited by the scholars, or is it using the instrument? So this is where the scholars differ. Some of them say if it's the instrument, that's prohibited. But if that same sound is produced without the instrument, then that's okay. So this is where you have difference of opinion. I'm not too sure. I mean, I've heard people say things like it gets them off listening to music. Which opinion is correct regarding taking a mortgage from the bank? Permissibility or impermissibility? So this isn't like a straightforward answer. If a person is unable to acquire the money to be able to buy a house and it's very difficult for them to live on rent, then there'd be permissibility for their first property. Otherwise, it would not be allowed. That's what I would say. What to do about intrusive thoughts that keep coming? I distract myself with games and Instagram, but I can't do that. Try to get friends. Try to contact friends. Have a network of friends. Try to do a project. Try to do art or something. Art, drawing. Try to do some sports, exercise. Yeah, go for a run. Go for a jog. That's what I would say. If we are praying Sunnah of Dhuhr and Asr comes in, do we continue the Zuhr Sunnah? Yes. I am curious, Sheikh. What is one habit that helped you in your life a lot? One of the habits was having, I think, good company. Good company has been probably the biggest thing that has helped me in life. Yeah, good company has saved me from getting into drugs, saved me from getting into gangs, saved me from getting into, haram relationships, saved me from getting into so many things. So I think don't never underestimate. If you've got good friends out there, then always hold on to them, I would say. Definitely. And maybe you guys as well can probably agree to this as well. And you've seen in your own life. Hamza Web, alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan. I'm very well, thank you very much. How are you? How's your family? How's the community? Long time I haven't been to Wolverhampton, bro. How's the Maulana, the Imam Sahib? What was his name? Maulana Raja. Was the hadith of gifting children equally referring to when the father of Nu'man Bashir was gifting Nu'man Bashir to give it to his children equally? Yes, that's the one. Yeah, that one. Alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan from Honduras, mashallah, ahlan wa sahlan. South America is one continent I really want to visit. I would like to go to every single country in South America. One day, inshallah. One day. Didn't it start yet? I'm not sure. I saw a video of Hanafi scholar leading witr in Shafi method. Curious to ask what's the view on this? Yeah, it'd be possible. Why not? Why not? There was actually a famous incident where Imam Damighani was a famous Hanafi in the 400s. Went to visit Imam Shirazi, was a famous Shafi, and Imam Shirazi was a Shafi. So Imam Damighani, when he came, Imam Shirazi let him lead. So they did the azan in the Hanafi method, and Imam Damighani, who was a Hanafi, led the salat in the Shafi method. Yeah. So most of these ikhtilafs that people discuss are not ikhtilafs of correct and incorrect. They're ikhtilaf of which one is better. That's what the most ikhtilafs boil down to, that. Which one is better, especially when it comes to salat. So that's why it wouldn't be a problem. Can you give me a reminder on the punishment of Allah and on taking it seriously? Inshallah. Remind me at the end, inshallah. Dr. Shadi Misty said about music, if the sound sounds like a haram instrument, it takes the ruling. If it sounds close to voices, it takes the ruling. This past, yeah, that's one view of the scholars. That's one view. Which book of scholars is the most beloved to you besides the Quran? I mean, besides the Quran, besides the books of Hadith, I think it might be something like Usul. I love Usul. Usul al-Sarakhsi, I think, is probably one of the ones I like a lot. Usul al-Sarakhsi. South America, I heard some places are chili, badam. Chile. Yes, I need to go to Chile as well. Alhamdulillah, we have had 4 Hafs graduations. Mona Rashid is good. MashaAllah, we'll arrange for you to come again soon. Inshallah, we're launching a wrestling. MashaAllah. Inshallah, may Allah make it easy for you guys. This is an excellent mosque, guys. If you guys have not been to Wolverhampton Jamia Mosque, then make sure you go there. Waterloo Road, Masjid Aqsa. Very, very nice mosque. Pleasant atmosphere, accommodating both for men and for women as well. And it's got some good, mashallah, vibes there. What is the one experience of your knowledge that resonates with you the most? How do you balance your life between knowledge, learning knowledge, and ibadah, and making you no money to sustain yourself? So to sustain myself, I work. I'm a teacher. I teach, and I run the YouTube channel, so I get some money from there as well. So this is how I sustain myself. So the thing is, if you are gonna do the teaching or like the khidmah of deen in this particular fashion, you have to remember you're not going to earn a lot. You're not going to be raking in loads of money, right? So you have to get that fixed in your mind. So second thing is because I teach, I have good colleagues, I have environment of Islamic teaching, studies, and therefore it makes it more conducive for me to be able to practice my deen better. Alhamdulillah. Patrick, ahlan wa sahlan, welcome. Welcome assalam. When during your Alimiya did you become able to pick up an Arabic book and understand? Furthermore, how do you improve? Okay, so let me tell you. When I was in year 1, because there were like books of senior students in my room and in other classes, so what I would sometimes do is borrow their books, an advanced book, any story book or any book on politics or on geography or anything, or even newspaper. And I'd pick that up, and in my break time, I'll just try to read it for 10 minutes. Just try and read. And regularly, almost every day, I try to read some advanced Arabic. Alhamdulillah, I would say probably after, maybe 1.5 years, I was able to kind of start to almost read a text and gain about 60-70% of what it was saying. Yeah. So that's, I would say, definitely after year 3, definitely. Because my studies were predominantly in Arabic anyway. Yeah, they're predominantly Arabic. So yeah, I would say. So what I would say is a lot of students, unfortunately, they underestimate the power of reading. Like reading and writing are so powerful tools when you're learning a language. You have to read and write every single day if you really want to benefit. Every single day, read some advanced Arabic that pushes your limits and start writing Arabic. Write sentences, write your diary, write what you did today, write what you did last year, write about something memorable, write a story yourself. And you'll see, if you have some friends, if you have a network and you guys read together and you guys write and share your writings, you're gonna benefit a lot, honestly. I'll try that, Patrick. Can you throw away old class notes contains English written? Yes, you can. Ideally, try to maybe burn them, or put them through the what do you call it? recycling machine. That would be ideal. That'd be, yeah. What else? Yeah, you could put it through the shredder as well, but you can throw it away. U'iza, sorry, Ustad, I just searched the name, the shuyukh you named, however, I did not find their pages. I don't think all of them have pages. Sheikh Salman Yunus has a page. Mufti Faraz Adam has a page. And Mufti Ibn Adam has a page. Actually, they're all, if you're on Twitter, they're all on Twitter. All of them on Twitter. How would you advise young graduates from Darul Ulooms like myself to find a sheikh or give bears? What I would say is, no, I'm not bear to anyone. What I would say is you have to find someone that you're comfortable with, that you're able to speak to, you're able to sit with. Yeah, that's the main thing. Don't try to look for a sheikh that you feel too intimidated to approach. That's pointless. That's just silly, guys. Make sure don't treat your sheikh like a football team. You support them, but you've never ever been able to communicate with them. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people will be like that with a sheikh. So you need to approach the sheikh. You need to communicate with them. You need to meet them. You basically need to benefit from them physically. Is sinning with the intention to repent after mocking Allah? No, not necessarily. My personal view, sounds from the mouth imitating musical instrument is all music, regardless the sound is music either from the mouth or instrument, just my opinion. I love Sheikh Salah Al-Usaymi a lot. Have you read any of his books, explanations? I've heard I've heard some of his videos, yeah. Yeah, mashallah. How about throwing away papers with English translations of hadith and Quran verses? So again, these kinds should be, what I would suggest is try to burn these. Try to burn as much as you can. How about transliterations of Quran? Can they be thrown in recycling? Yes. So as long as the recycling gets rid of all the ink, this is the main thing. Now, it's not sinful to throw these papers in the bin per se, but it's just an element you might feel disrespect, and then it might play up on your mind as well. Sheikh Munawwar Haj said the word of the student are just ta'liqat, meaning his mutala becomes, because in Mauritania the study on small blackboards, they memorize and wipe for the next day. MashaAllah, subhanallah. Wa baraka fika. Shredder, yes. Remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder. Okay, roughly how many minutes before Dhuhr is the makruh zawal time in the UK? So number 1, about 5. Number 2, what is the difference in the sun in zawal time versus Dhuhr sun? Zawal is when the sun seems as though it stops at the highest point, and Zuhr is when it starts to come down. Okay, please, can you quantify how many minutes after sunrise is the makruh time? So in the UK at the moment, it's about 5 minutes. But to be safe, wait 10 minutes. Okay. Correction, the wird of the student are his ta'liqat. I see, yeah. I would 100% agree with that. The one thing, see, students of knowledge, they don't realize students of knowledge are in a teacher's presence so long that they would have more like spiritual privileges than other people out there. So imagine you're with a sheikh and your teacher is going to be an alim, and most likely they'll be praying 5 times a day, and most likely they'll be staying away from backbiting, they'll be staying away from zina and these things. So you're going to be in the company of a person who's pious for a very long time part of the day. That means you would have very good communication with them. spirituality would be of a very good level as well. So the only thing that you need to do as a student, your focus on, is your studies at that moment. Obviously, outside of your studies, you pray your 5 times salat, you do your adhkar here and there, and that's it. But your studies are the most important thing. Assalamu alaikum. Is hypnosis halal? Yes, as long as someone, I mean, I don't know exactly know how hypnosis works, but as long as it's not something manipulating someone else. If it's manipulating someone else, making them do things that they would not do themselves, then that would be impermissible. Isn't zawal indicative of entrance of zuhur itself, since it means to come down? Yes, but technically zawal, yeah, in the zawal, when they say like zawal, in the zawal, so they mean at the point of when the sun becomes istawa, when it stops in the air. That's what it technically is. So when they say zawal, it basically usually means that point there. Instead of poorly written modern cover version nasheeds, read proper poetry and works instead. Plenty of Islamic poetry that are exceptional with some real content depth. Yeah, definitely. But again, it's just youngsters, they don't like listening to words. They generally just like listening to beats. They like the sounds more than the meaning. It's only people when they reach in their 30s and 40s they start to enjoy the lyrics and sounds, the words more than the sounds. Once you burn the notes, what do you do with the ashes? You can throw them away. The ashes get spread by wind to go different places. Yeah, but you throw them in the bin, it's fine. What's the difference between dahwatul kubra and zawal? So dahwatul kubra is zawal. So dahwatul kubra is where the sun is in the highest point. Yeah. And technically, in the fiqh books, when they say zawal, in the zawal, they mean at the time when the sun is at the highest point, when it's about to, go down, decline. But generally in English, when we say zawal, we mean the it being at the highest point the sun is. So name it whatever you want, but just work out when the sun is at the highest point in the sky. Just work that out. So as long as you've got that, you can name it whatever you want. You can call it zawal, you can call it dahwat al-kubra, you can call it qabla zawal, you can call it qabla dhuhr. If someone prays the sunnah of Fajr and forgot to do sajda sahu and then prayed Fajr, do they repeat the sunnah? No. In the madhab of Imam Shafi'i, children is to be in the womb of his mother for like 4 years at max and 6 months at maximum. Can you explain? Because I've read it in the Mukhtasar. I don't know the Shafi'i madhab, so unfortunately I wouldn't be able to explain that. And Assalamu alaikum assalam. If I buy a car fully on the day, it costs 1,000. If I pay in installments, they say it has interest, but the final price is fixed at 1,500. Does this count as interest? So it all depends upon what the contract exactly says. That's what it all boils down to. What are the details of the contract? Generally, when they give you two options, you pay immediately or you pay installments, then the paying of installments is considered to be at a higher cost. That extra higher cost, they'll term it in their words as interest, but it's not necessarily interest as we understand interest. The only thing is behind the scenes what's happening. So if, for example, you're buying a car on installments, are they taking a loan out from a third-party financial institute like a bank, and then every time you make a payment, that payment goes towards paying off the interest-based loan that they've taken out? That's the only issue that they. If we are in salah and forget if we are in first and we are in second sajda or first and we are absolutely 150 without any linking at all, so in that case do the sajda and then at the end do sajda saw. So do extra sajda and then do sajda saw. How many years has it been since you've been doing these live streams? How many years? I think maybe 4 years. I think. Wait, I can. Let me have a check. Let me just have a quick gander. Okay, so live streams. It's taking a bit of time to come up. Looks like got loads of live streams, not live streams, but live. I think the first one I probably did was ages ago. 2000, looks like 2018, I think. About 2018. Yeah, so before that, I think I had vlogs. It was more like vlogs before that. Okay, I'm gonna go off Instagram then. So take care, guys. Assalamu alaikum. Let's go off this. Just put it on charge. Okay, so Avilio Bruno, is it permissible to make a private online community for a fixed amount per year? Yes, why not? Sheikh, what madhab do you teach? Hanafi madhab. Hanafi. If we forget if we are in the second rakat or fourth rakat in salat, what do we do? So if you forget you're in the second or fourth, so what you're going to do is after every rakat you're going to sit, and then so assume that you're in the second, and then after every rakat you're going to sit, and then at the end you sujood sahwi. If a woman prays Fajr at home, is it better to wake up and pray earlier to start time, or they have some time? So according to Hanafis, both would be permissible, but it would be better for her to pray earlier. Have you ever tried eels or stingrays? No, I haven't. No, I haven't. What have you tried it? Sheikh, what do you think about responding da'is to one another? As in, you mean like people who do da'wah on social media? Yeah, I think this is just silly. It just makes Islam look very silly. Unless it's something very, very serious, then I don't think Muslims should be publicly arguing with one another. They should do it privately communicate with one another. That would be sufficient. If you read Surah Fatiha twice, do you need to do sajda sahu, as in your salat? Yeah. So if a person reads, because the surah has to appear after Fatiha, that means by reading Fatiha again, what's happened is you've delayed, so you caused a delay. So causing a delay in a wajib is needs sajda sahu. Is black permissible to wear? Yes, you can wear black. This is actually brown, by the way, dark brown. So I don't know if you guys can see this. This is very dark brown. So actually, it's light brownish. But black is permissible. Salam, ahlan wa sahlan, Hamim. Enjoying the holidays? Not yet. I'm still doing all the marking. I've done, alhamdulillah, half of my marking has been completed. I just got half left. About 60 student exams are left to mark. Sheikh, I really don't know how know this question. Can you please explain to me when we have multiple madhabs in Aqidah as we have in Fiqh? Thank you very much. So technically there's no madhab in Aqidah. Aqidah is one. Whatever the Quran came with, this is what we believe in. So there is no multiple Aqidahs at all. Anyone who diverges from the Aqidah that is in the Quran, that was understood by the Sahaba, is outside of what we call the Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. So any other Aqidahs outside of what was passed down from the Sahaba and understood by them is known as a non-Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah position, which therefore can possibly be deviant, and possibly can even be out of the fold of Islam, depending on how serious it is. As for Atharis, Ash'aris, Maturidis, this is not a different madhab. This Ash'aris and Maturidis is simply a method of trying to logically protect the Aqidah. That's what it is. So imagine you have a safe, and inside the safe you have, let's say, £1 million inside the safe. You have gold, or you have something very precious. It doesn't matter what safe you use. Whatever's inside of it is the same. That's the same principle that the Ash'aris and Maturidis work on. There's two different safes that are protecting what's inside of them. Identical things they're protecting. I read both eels and were allowed in. Yes, they're allowed. Because technically they come under the shape of fish. Are you coming to Snowdon next Saturday? Most likely I won't be able to. If a woman is trying to get married and her closet wali says, closest wali. I read that as closet wali. And her closest wali says no, can she ask another wali to conduct the nikah like the brother does instead of trying to get married? And so, as in, permission has not been given. Yeah, is that what you're saying? The wali has not given permission of the nikah. So the point is, let's say there's a woman and she has a father. Her father is her closest wali. Yeah. So if he says no, that's it. You don't go to anyone else. So the wali basically means someone who has authority over them, who knows better about their situation. So technically, no. According to the Hanafi schools, they say that the wali is not needed for the woman to get married to someone else, but it is highly recommended for her to seek permission. That's what they would say. The other madhabs would say, no, marriage is not valid without a wali. Yeah, so far are going to be going on Snowdon, Fajr Snowdon. So basically, they're going to climb up the mountain at night time and then Fajr, pray Fajr at the top. Yeah, so it's going to be an amazing thing if anyone goes. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go. I'm actually thinking of going to Pakistan. So I finally got my Shanakhti card. This is my card, my Shanakhti card. So you guys, this is what you call a Pakistan Shanakhti card. And this is, if I show you my picture on there. There's my picture on there. And that's my, so you guys can see what I look like. And that's, inshallah, hopefully if I get my, if I can try to get a reasonable ticket. At the moment, ticket prices are quite high. So inshallah, if I can get a reasonable ticket, I might go for about 2 weeks or so, just to visit my teachers, madaris, friends, relatives, inshallah. So make dua for me, guys. That goes well. Remember, I always say to you in summer, I'm going to go Pakistan. At the moment, I don't know what the weather's like over there. So what is better? Is it better for a female to pray nearest to Fajr start time and recite less or wird and Quran routine than sleep? Or, I mean, it's up to you. You know, a lot of these kind of things where people ask what is better. The main thing is you try to do whatever you can do, whatever is in your capacity. Don't try to overburden yourself. Like, for example, when Abdullah bin Amr came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, how much Quran should I recite? He said, do one khatam a month. He goes, I can do more. He goes, okay, do it every week. He goes, I can do more. Eventually, the Prophet ﷺ said, look, just do it every 3 days. Later on, Abdullah bin Amr, he regretted doing this because he found it too burdensome. So what I would say is do whatever you can. Yeah. The thing about ibadah is you do sweet and small. Sweet and small. That's how it is. Yeah. مَا قَلَّ وَكَفَى خَيْرٌ مِمَّا كَثُرَ وَأَلْهَى. That which is small and suffices is better than that which is large and distracts you. وَأَحَبُّ الْأَعْمَالِ لِلَّهِ. The best actions to Allah are the ones that are perpetual, continuously. And even if it's small thing you do every single day, that is what's more beloved. So I would say, look, do whatever is better for you. Because when you say to me what is better, that would mean that there has to exist a verse of the Quran or a hadith to back that up. And there is no verse of a hadith or a Quran to back up exactly what you're saying. So I would say do whatever is easy for you. If you find waking up waking up early good for you, do that. If you find out waking up late is going to be easy for you, then do that. But do it consistently. In Kitab al-Itaq it says إذا أضاف العتق إلى ملك أو شرط. What does it mean by milk? Milk means like ownership. So if you say, for example, let's say there's a slave across the road you haven't bought, and you say to the slave, if I buy you, you're free. So you've attributed the shart to your ownership, buy. What's the meaning of Ar-Rahman al-Arsh istawa? So Ar-Rahman al-Arsh istawa literally means the most merciful is established on the throne. That's what it means. Is that Shanakhti card like a Visa card? It's a Nadra card. It's called a Nadra. It's like a overseas Pakistanis card. When did you finish Iftar? I finished it in 2009. What does Shanakhti mean? Shanakhti is a Urdu word, a Farsi word. It means identity. السلام عليكم أهلا وسهلا. هل صحيح أن المشايخ لا يهتم بتعلم اللغات أخرى غير العربية؟ هل هذا من فضول العلم فتعلم أي لغة يحتاج إلى وقت كثير؟ هل أقضي هذا الوقت كبير كي أتعلم لغات أخرى أو لا؟ فهذا يختلف حسب المكان. هناك كثير من العلماء يعرفون عدة لغات. أنا أعرف علماء يعرفون 5 لغات 6 لغات 7 لغات. فليس الأمر في عدم تعلمهم، بل كثير منهم يتعلمون لأغراض مختلفة. لكن إذا كان هناك لغة لا حاجة للعالم فيه البتة، فهذا سيكون ضياع الوقت للعالم، لا يدخل تحت الإثم، لكنه طبعا يعني يلهيه عن ما ينبغي أن يقصد. فإذا كنت تريد أن تتعلم اللغة، طيب، إذا كان هناك غرض يعني جميل. Which books are the best that speak about stances of 4 madhabs? So do you mean like as in the individual fatwas on different things, or do you mean about their history? Fiyaz Ali Sheikh, what do you say about talaq 3 times? 3 times is considered 1 year. 3 times is considered 3. According to the 4 madhabs, 3 times is considered 3. Unless a person says it 3 times with the intention of repetition. So he says it once, but he just keeps repeating it again and again with the intention that I've only said it once, but I'm just saying it again and again as emphasis. Then that would be 1. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. AH, I am in a very serious calamity matter of life and death. Please make dua. May Allah make it easy. Make dua for our brother AH. Ameen, ameen. FK, wa alaikum salam. Did you say after sunrise, makruh times end 5 minutes? I thought it's... So it's basically when the disk of the sun fully comes above the horizon. So you can observe it yourself. What I would suggest is, FK, if you are living somewhere where you can see the sun rise, just time it. So once the sun hits the horizon and starts to go up, just time it how long it takes for the sun to go up. Different parts of the world might take a bit more time. 15:20, no. 15:20, I think people have just said that just out of cautiousness. But again, a lot of these things, observe it yourself, guys. You can, you know, I in the winter, I can see from my window, I can see the sunrise, and I can count how long it takes. And you've got Google now. You can just Google it, type in. Someone would have recorded on YouTube how long the sun takes to rise. You can count. You can count that. 100% perpetual and consistency. Definitely. Ibn Adam, according to Sunnah, how much Quran should we read and finish in how many days? It's up to you. The scholar says recommended once a month. Imam Ghazali mentions once a month is recommended, but it's not something that you'll be sinful for. At least once a year you should do it. With all respect, when you previously said that mortgage to buy first house would be permissible, I don't agree. Okay, that's fine, my brother. Can a mukatab slave free his slaves? Mukatab slave. No. Mukatab, because mukatab is not a fully, he's not considered to be a full, freedom. The woman who fed the dog and the man who moved the branch of the road, were they aware about the reward? We don't know. We don't assume that. We can still rent flats and houses, not necessarily to own a home. I mean, if that's what you can do, but according to Hanafis, there is there is scope for it, especially in a non-Muslim land. Can I drink beer that doesn't get me intoxicated? No, not allowed. Do you personally know any sheikh who has reached the maqam of mujtahid in today's world? There are several. I would say there are several. Some of them passed away. People like Mufti Taqi Usmani would have reached a partial ijtihad, not full ijtihad. Full ijtihad, I don't think there's anyone. Partial ijtihad in different areas. Different areas. Okay. Yeah, so that's that, guys. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna finish it over there. What's the Hanafi ruling on Mutta? Was it abrogated? Yes, it's abrogated. Alright, guys, take care, inshallah. I will see you guys next week. Jazakumullah khair for coming on. May Allah bless all of you guys. Give you guys barakah in your time and in your health and in your wealth as well. Yeah, Allah. Oh yeah, I said to you guys I was going to show you guys. Yeah, I'll show you guys some of my notes. I was going to show you guys some. Yeah, so this was something that I was actually working on many years ago. Then I just recovered it. Yeah, so this was basically history of Masail al-Hanafi fiqh. So like, for example, tahara, washing of the limbs was known. Quraysh used to wash their limbs, and these are all references to certain books. So maybe due to poverty, lies for not washing their bodies, and then things like they understood the language as well, cleaning of the teeth. Actually, you guys can't see any. Yeah, so these are some of the. For the cleaning of the teeth was something they did. So the use of miswaks existed in the time of Jahiliyyah. Miswaks from Makkah were very famous. There's various trees that they used to use. They used to use gold to strengthen teeth as well that were weak. So this was in Jahiliyyah. Water was stored and used in vessels and scooped out by hand. Mihras, a carved out vessel from stone, non-movable. A kuz has a handle. Kub has no handle. Urinate outside. Usually on journeys, they would urinate outside. They would go far out of sight. Indoor toilets called kanif. They used to have those. The posture of urinating, mostly they used to sit and urinate, sometimes standing. Leather socks, usually made from cow's tanned hide. Mozaj, it was a Persian word. Mok was worn on top of the hoof. So basically, that's what I was doing. It was showing like a historical sort of analysis of things that people used to do in Jahiliyyah. So when you read fiqh, you can see where they actually got these ideas from. Jazakallah khair, you're welcome. Walakal jaza. Advice for the week before you go. My advice for the week. What's my advice for the week? My advice for the week would be do good regularly. Yeah, if you're going to do some good, do it regularly. Start something and practice every single day. Do good. If it's going to be 2 rakats, you're going to pray, or if it's going to be recitation of 1 page of the Quran, or if it's going to be phoning your parents if they're alive, or helping a charity or anything like that. Do something regular, once every single day, even if it's for a few minutes. These things have a big effect. You don't realize, but these things have a powerful effect on your iman later on. Is the hadith of Prophet being authentic? Yes. Can men wear jewelry according to Hanafi? No. Thoughts on that? I don't know. Right. Ahlan wa sahlan. Jazakallah khair, guys. Take care, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.